I want to share a story with you, something that happened last week. We were meeting with the family office, and on the call, we were evaluating their fund. They have a pretty large equity sleeve comprised of active and passive fund managers. And the term negative alpha came up in the conversation. When I heard the term, I'm like, oh, what do they mean by negative alpha? And what I thought in my mind is they must mean the traditional sense, where it's the benchmark assigned in the prospectus that you'll find in any of those fact sheets saying what that fund would be relative to that benchmark. I left that meeting with more questions. Thinking about it after the fact, I didn't get into a broader discussion on how negative alpha was defined for her, as the meeting wasn't really set up for a debate. In the future, I asked the question when it comes up around negative alpha, hearing that term, is it based on how the fund assigns a benchmark? Is it a different interpretation of the right benchmark? Or is it some sort of peer group that's the most appropriate measure of the market? If you think about the debate on is a negative alpha persistent, is this something that is just bad luck versus bad skill? And they're just around the corner in terms of beating that benchmark, beating that peer group. So there are papers, there's one in particular that looks at a fund's alpha. There's a professor out of Penn State. He wrote a paper called Long-Term Negative Fund Alpha. Is it caused by bad skill or bad luck? And in his analysis, it's a result of bad luck rather than bad skill. What I thought I'd do is to showcase on Phenomenal the three different flavors of assessing what that right benchmark is. Hi, I'm John Regino with Phenominal. We are an investment portfolio analytics software platform designed to provide portfolio insights for advisors, family offices, and distribution teams to navigate my dilemma of what is the right benchmark. I took an example from this mutual fund, and you can see just bringing the prospectus up right from their website, they'll assign the benchmark. This one is attached to Russell Midcap Index. So on the phenomenal equivalent, we can bring that same fund into the system, and you'll see that we'll assign a Russell Midcap. But we'll also give you an opportunity to use one of our indices. You can use Russell, whatever you think is appropriate. You can throw that in there and pick some of the other benchmarks that's available on the system. Or you can pick a fund itself. The other thinking that I mentioned is choosing a peer group. So let's say we went with the benchmark. Again, going back to the term negative alpha, performing or under, right? If you are looking at it from the perspective of a peer group, which is the right peers? So we are choosing 6 here in the pool, but if some of these are inappropriate, then reducing it and maybe choosing some of the ones that, if you're on the advisor side, what do you want to compare it against? Go ahead and pick it or add what you think is appropriate. If you're on the distribution side and you want to explain to your clients that to do an apples to apples comparison, you need to add these two, then go ahead and create that peer group. The options are there when you want to try to understand alpha. Thank you for exploring this use case with me. Please subscribe as I explore more workflows that may help with your client narratives. Send me a note if you're interested in the papers or looking to experiment with something on the platform. I'm John Regino at Phenomenal. See you again soon.